Hi, this is sangeetaangelakumar, and I'm going to be talking about parenting today in my first ever podcast that is on Anchor, and I'm very excited about it. So let's talk about sleep. So, one of the challenges that I have discovered that Indian parents have is handling sleep. So, most people get home. I think it's just not Indian. I think it's also people abroad who are two working parents, and they get home late and the kids are not asleep. But let me speak to you. I'm Indian, so I'm going to speak to you about Indian parenting, because what happens is parents come in late. A lot of people have joint families, so their aunts and uncles and grandmothers put the kids to sleep. But in nuclear families, that's not the case. And so children, especially city children, like urban children, are like beginning to sleep at like 11 o'clock or 10:30. Maybe early sleepers sleep around 10:30, and then they wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning for school. And this is making like kids really aggressive, and it's just prepping people for life. It's prepping people for studies and just a life of focus on education and academics. So they don't really get their rest, they don't get playtime. And I've noticed this about kids. Like, I mean, I because I grew up in a boarding school, it was 5:30 dinner, like 7:38 bedtime, at least when we were in elementary. And so even with my own daughter, I of course went on Pinterest, my favorite application to get all my details, and I found out how many hours do like kids, like 1-year-olds, how many hours do they need to like have great brain development. And over time, of course, the sleep gets lesser, because when you're infants, you need to sleep most of the day, and then when you're like 6 months, it's lesser, and then by the time you're 2.5 or 3, your nap times kind of stop. So like today, I was at a gathering, and somebody was sharing about their neighbors who don't really they put their kids to sleep in the afternoon, so eventually kids can't go to sleep early. So any which ways, I feel that kids should sleep early and not nap in the afternoon, because then when you get your 13 hours of sleep or 10 hours of sleep or however many hours of sleep your child at its age needs, then you get a child who's well rested, well developed, who really wakes up with a smile on their face and ready for the day. And this eventually affects their studies, like in a positive way. It enhances playtime. It enhances, like, they get the most out of their day. They're not crabby, and most importantly, and this really is the secret of me as a mother, you don't get cranky kids when they sleep. Cranky kids that you can't handle is primarily because you're not sleeping well. So, and then later on in their years, they go into school, and then they end up, visiting counselors, because no one can understand why they're stressed out or why they've got attention deficit. But it's primarily because they never got their sleep. So in this episode, I would just say, like, wrap up saying sleep is really important, and giving your child the sleep that they need is really, really important. And I know it's ironic because I'm recording this podcast in the middle of the night, but my kid is sleeping. It's a different thing. As adults, we hardly get sleep. Definitely as a mother, as a working mom, I never get sleep. Like, I finish my housework, and then by the time my kid goes to sleep, I start my work. So even as adults, we need sleep. I mean, I'm cranky if I don't sleep my hours or the timing that I get. Like tomorrow, I'm probably going to be cranky. Yay! My husband's going to be so happy. But so sleep's really important. So if you're listening to this and you feel like maybe this makes sense, let me know. I'm available on my sangeetaangelakumar is my website, and my Facebook. Let me know what you think, and if this really makes sense to you. And of course, tell me if you don't agree with it as well. And if you have any ideas for the next podcast, I'm very excited about this format. I will go now. So sleep well, sweet dreams, and I'll be back with more parenting ideas, tips, whatever you call it. Okay, bye.